All right. Well, this is one I've wanted to do for a little bit because Relooted kind of came back from the ethers of like unknowns. It just like just kind of came back to life. Now, Relooted is a game I actually played. I played the demo. I thought it was absolutely awful. It's a terrible designed game. It has the most offensive and hilarious premise of all time. It's just a very strange time that we're living in. Now, for you, those of you who don't know, this game was developed by an indie South African company, a company that has received funding from the United States and Sweden before. So you know there's diversity dollars behind the scenes, these secret diversity dollars that they're shifting around to try and occupy gaming space. I said for a long time South of Midnight was a game that was created solely for the reason of occupying gaming space. They want to make this regular occurrence that people their general idea of these people, and it will never happen, let's just be honest, because you can refuse to play whatever you want, and plenty of people, there's so much refusal to play woke games nowadays that it just simply is now a common thing. But essentially they want to make it so that you have no choice but to play these games. That you cannot choose not to play as these characters. You can't say that this is. I mean, look at that. Look at how stupid that looks. I mean, what are they trying to get at? What are they trying to do? What even is that creature? So, and without further ado, I played Relooted. I thought it was dumb, and I played the demo just out of morbid curiosity. But for those of you who don't know, the Steam forums are a wonderful place. The Steam forums, they they have a level of lawless, wild western feel. You could get Reddit threads. That Reddit is sometimes a little bit, well cordoned and a bit of a Reddit hive mind. Twitter is a lot bigger Wild West, but gaming, there's so many random articles. Steam forums focus on one specific game and one specific forum on the most popular gaming platform of 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 all time, and it is just hilarious. There's some kind of award system that sometimes is enacted, so it's just this kind of I love the Steam forums because it is kind of like this backdoor ether where people just run wild. So let's check out the Relooted Steam forums because I bet we're gonna have some fun here. We don't have to go long before we realize the premise. Now, for those of you who don't know, Relooted is a game where African people go and steal artifacts from African history from a museum owned by, I don't know, whatever they could describe as. I believe they called it from the colonists or oppressive Western. You know what they're meaning. All right, let's not spell it. I'm not gonna say it, but let's just be honest. You know who they're stealing it from. So let's go through this because yeah, we're gonna see some gold in here. Someone should tell these people who exactly sold their own citizens to Western. Yep. Amazing. You're getting history out of these forums. LOL, that's all. Now, surprisingly, I haven't been banned, I don't think, from these forums. There doesn't seem to be a lot of I don't know if these Nidoptic don't monitor this, don't care, but I mean, look at, you got things like this. The way was this actual game is spent time, money developing, probably blah, blah, blah. The game is probably pumped out by ChatGTP in a week. And yeah, we're going to get that. Just imagine how it's going to be when all these diversity dollars can no longer be, their entry into the gaming industry. When people like anyone can just go on to AI and say, make me this game, and spew it out in somewhat of a fashion, it's going to change a lot. But it'll also going to enable them to come out with a lot of crap. There's going to be some of the more, it's going to be like a second wave of Flash games, because you'll get woke games that suck, you'll get everything that sucks, but AI will make it. You also get a lot of good things too. Um, so I wrote this. So I said, this is a very valid point. This was made by a South African company that would obviously make no money and would be a laughing stock. Sweden and US has funded past projects of theirs. Left-wing activists are involved in funding this too, although the funding is getting more secretive. Very true. After like the sweet baby stuff and all this woke stuff, they're a lot more secretive with where the money's coming from. They like to be like this. I wouldn't call it fraudulent, but activists are known to support untalented minority developers and occupy gaming space, even if people mostly just rip on it. South of Midnight was a similar story of a game. Objective A is always activism. Objective B is leeching funding for completely unnecessary and futile projects. So as you can see, it goes on and on and on and on. Cause a bit of a stir here. Um, so people go off on these forums. This game is woke. Yes. Yes. This is woke is like such a phrase term, and everybody's like, well, you don't even know what woke means, and it's very obvious what woke is. Diversity equals less white dudes, straight dudes. Less. It's reverse discrimination. Woke is reverse discrimination. It's saying we feel oppressed, so we're gonna be oppressed. That is the essence of woke entertainment. It is we're just gonna be oppressive because we feel we were oppressed, or feel we are oppressed, or whatever. So I wouldn't go that far, but I get what this person is talking about. Will Yasuke be a hero? My wife's boyfriend bought me the game. Best game I ever played. I would just want more Yasuke. Insane level of delusional developers. And see, that's the thing, is that this isn't even about money. They don't even care about the money. They're getting money from someone else. So it's like, if you were to make something and you won't make any money on it, it doesn't matter, because that money is coming from somewhere else. Someone else is paying your bills to make something that isn't going to make more money. It's like an activism thing. It's like they feel as if, like, I mean, if you look at like 90% of game developers today, I would say maybe game companies probably look a lot like me, despite all the intense amounts of that. And I believe that a lot of the people who worked on this game are like that too. But it's about occupying space. They want to occupy space. They want to bring things to light that never would have normally got there, unnaturally. Doing that Minnesota Simulator 26, live, laugh, lure. Beautiful and helpful. I still want to play as an ICE agent. Live, laugh, lure. That's beautiful. Okay, concurrent player count guess. So it's well known that these games will come out and they're just like, nobody will buy them. They'll like maybe get like some of these games legitimately only sell under like 10,000 copies, like, which is insane, and they probably cost like in the million range or more. It's crazy to think of that's a reality. But like, so like, if you're at the board of directors of like Activision or whatever, they're never gonna let you just make a game that they know will just make no money. But yet all these woke games, it's constantly being done. Like, it's constantly a thing that they'll just like, it'll just like be like, zero hype for this game, whatever, we're not gonna cancel it, we're gonna release it for diversity brownie points. sub 300. I would say maybe 1,000. I don't know what the demo was at, but I would say 1,000. You're going to get about 500 people just morbidly curiosity engagement farming. You're going to get about 250 people who are like into the whole activism thing and like playing it like force feeding themselves even if they're not having fun just because it's the way it is. And then you'll maybe get 250 people who generally like were interested in it. So that would be my predictions in the 1,000 range. Maybe, I don't know, less than 100. Could be. I mean, Dustborn was like, here, let's go with Dustborn. Oops. Dustborn was a ridiculous one. That it was the exact same thing as this. Identical type of thing. 9 people. 9 people are in fucking game with Dustborn right now. Now I don't know how it works with Steam DB, but I would assume it's like not the whole world. It's different set situations. But you can get a very, I mean, yeah, I would say that generally 8 to 11,000 estimation. So all-time peak is 83 players. So I mean, like, you're dealing with a game there that has such a little amount of player attention that it's incredible. It's actually like an achievement because you would think in the whole world more than 83 people or whatever region we're in, the biggest, like maybe different regions get basically none. But yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, I mean, Dustborn was a ridiculous failure. But I mean, like, yeah, so like different regions get different things, but like the biggest region ever by far would be whatever my or the Steam DB we refer to as. Because that's just insane. 9 people and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people on Steam right now, and only 9 people are playing. Like, that's so fucking ridiculous. That statistic. Let's just pick a so Dustborn's at 9 people in game now. Let's just pick a random old game. Steam DB. Let's just pick a random old game. What's a game that's like somewhat decent but has generally low amount of players? That will have a very low amount of player. Let's just see. Man. All right, so Max Payne. Okay, well this game is like 20 years old, super archaic. 63 people in game, 78 players. So you're dealing with a game that is like, yeah, it's kind of acclaimed, but it's super old, and generally people, don't go back to it, or there's like HD version or whatever. But Max Payne, 63 people. Let's go. Let's go Civilization 2. Galactic Civilizations Ultimate Edition. Random game I've never really even heard of. Came out, just probably poor things. 22 players in game, 32 players peak. So you pick the most obscure random game from no man's land, and it's still getting more people playing it than Dustborn. So see what I mean? How there's such a threshold that you have millions of people playing, like, such a little people playing these tiny games, but then you get a game like Dustborn came out this year or like the last year or like with recent game, and there's still 9 people playing it. Okay, so yeah, like let's go back to all this shit. The reason Western museums have so many one-of-a-kind artifacts is because countries weren't they're looted from had zero respect for their historical values. Sorry, the mean old white man decided history was worth pursuing. And look at this. So the developers actually responded to this. Got any sources for that game? Many were looted were taken from thriving existing communities. So you know that triggered them. That totally triggered them, man. For them to make a post like that, it's so hilarious that this exists in there. Y'all could start with the ones in the demo. That's okay. You can play it. We won't tell anyone. The knowledge is in the game. You can play it. You can play it right now. Unbelievable. You know that this community manager is just an absolute tool, and it's going fighting people in the things. LOL. What's the big issue? Here we go. So this will be some amounts. Cope. It's a demo. I see lots of player on the activity. More people don't play demos. They just get the game unless they're broke. It's a demo. I don't see a lot of player activity on that chart. Majority of people don't play demos and just get the game. Yeah, the 0 current players agree with you. It said 0 current players. Here, let's see that. SteamDB Reloaded demo. Reloaded demo. There we go. It's 0 in game. Oh my god, I was one of those. I fucking played this shit. 0 players in game.